their family, their church, their steadfast commitment of love and support for each other, and also their forgiveness of each other when things don't go the same way they're thinking or they don't see eye to eye. They might hurt each other with their words, but they always go to each other and forgive, and they always go on in peace and love. And also their tenacity of love and strength when they do see eye to eye. They are really brave. They do brave things. Going for this building is one of those things. It was so brave, I just thought to myself, well, I'm sorry, I can't see it. I'm a faith girl, but I couldn't really see it. And it's amazing that we stand in this building today. If you saw it before, it was just, But to go for it like that was brave to do at their age or any age, And when they see eye to eye and they're in agreement, you better get out of the way. The Bible says that a threefold cord, we've already heard this morning, is not quickly broken. Jesus Christ in the marriage is the third cord. I'd like to read to you from the book of Ecclesiastes, from chapter 4. I love this. It says, 2 are better than 1, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will lift up his companion. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, for he has no one to help him up. Again, if 2 lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one be warm alone? Though one may be overpowered by another, 2 can withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. When my mum had agoraphobia, my dad did all the food shopping on a Saturday morning. Long before there was online ordering stuff and all that stuff, he did it all on his own every Saturday morning. Not many men were shopping alone at that time either. And I always remember him going off and doing that and coming back, and the unpacking of it and everything was a big thing because Mum couldn't do it. And when Dad was ill, it was my mum who cried out to God to heal his neck. I remember watching her for hours, sat rubbing his neck for him and doing all sorts of things to try and help him and relieve the pain. But it was her that cried out to God to heal him. And they were both healed, and their marriage. And that's what we celebrate today. We serve a faithful God who gives us the strength and ability to live good lives that are worth living, not just existing day to day in pain and happiness. But Jesus said in John 10 that he came that we might have life and have it more abundantly. They are always looking for an opportunity to give away what they've been given. Salvation, healing, hope, joy, practical help. I've always been taught that you get to keep what you give away and you reap what you sow. A good Christian man named Edwin Lewis Cole, whose work I've studied and I love his work, said, "Love is the desire to benefit the other person at the expense of self. True love is sacrifice. It has a servant's heart." I'm just going to embarrass Nathan a little bit. When he was 8 years old and he was at school, I went to pick him up and it was my birthday. And he'd done some good work that day, and there was all things on the table that they could choose from for a reward. And there was a little plastic whale on there that he wanted, but he chose these red beads for me for my birthday. And when I came to pick him up, he had a real grumpy face. And I was like, "What's the matter, Nate?" And he said, "These are for you. Happy birthday." And I was like, "Oh." He said, "I wanted the plastic whale." And I was like, "Oh." But do you know, I've got these beads today, and now he's like 16 coming up, because it was the sacrifice that he made that meant so much to me, that he wanted the plastic whale, but he chose the beads for my birthday. It's the sacrifice that you make that's going to touch somebody's heart. Jesus said, "Greater love has no man than he lay down his life for his friends." Love always wants to bless the other person. God is love. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 says, "Love suffers long and it's kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself. It's not puffed up. It does not behave rudely. It does not seek its own. It's not provoked, and it thinks no evil. It does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things. It endures all things. Love never fails. Love is such a beautiful thing. Proverbs 31 says, "Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life." I've watched my mum be a good example of a virtuous wife to my dad. Always being moved with compassion to help him, make him endless cups of tea, cook his tea, buying him a Barnsley chop or a custard slice, ironing hundreds of shirts over the years, buying him nice aftershave, keeping him smart as he looks today. Sometimes having a little tiff about the tie before he goes out the door. They laugh a lot together, and that's what I love. She thinks about the things that make him happy, helping him get a little boat for his holidays to pootle around the bay. I see how much she loves him. And she never wants to do anything without him. He comes clothes shopping with us to Bath. And he carries all the bags, and it's not really exciting for him at all. But he does it because that's what she wants him to do. And he's a blessing to us. Everyone knows I tell my mum that she's got a butler. Dad is her butler. She says, "Steve, is there any coffee in that pot?" Well, they don't have a pot. That means, "Will you make me one?" And he does, all the time. "Steve, will you go and get me this, love?" So he stops what he's doing and he goes off to do it. "Steve, I need some chips for so-and-so from the chippy. Will you go and get them?" So off he goes to the chippy. "Steve, can you go to Morrison's for me, please?" Sometimes when he's just got back through the door from going there. I've seen that before. He's very patient with her, but he does it all because he wants to be a blessing. He always wants to help her. I call him her enabler. He's just like Jesus. She has a vision and a goal that she wants to achieve, and he helps her to do that. They're best friends, and that I love. Somebody said to me recently, "A boy becomes your best friend, and you marry your best friend." The Bible says that the two shall become one flesh. They become one. They become joined and inseparable. I'd just like to finish by sharing with you a piece from a little book that's called "You and I, How Incredible." And when I read this in the week, it reminded me of my mum and dad. So I'd just like to share it with you. It says, "There is a camaraderie unique to lovers. It grows out of the unromantic demands of daily living. It is each one given to the other, dividing life's burdens and joys. It is faith in their commitment, tightly bound into their faith in the God who creates and holds all things together. Love knows no limit to its endurance and no end to its trust, no fading of its hope. It can outlast anything. Love never fails." I would just like to say well done to the two of you. I'm so proud of you, and congratulations. This is a wonderful day. Amen. I love you. Welcome. You're a blessing.
Wow. Isn't she amazing? She's just amazing. We love her. I know it's all Jesus, but